Experiments with hypnosis really were going on in government agencies.
The CIA ran a series of mind control programs from 1950 to the early 70s, all designed for mind control brainwashing.
I told you, I have these visions. I don't know where they come from. Maybe it has something to do with my implant.
Excuse me?
They put an implant in my head. I always thought they were sending me signals.
To whom are you referring?
You know, them, the secret government, the New World Order, black helicopters, underground bases. Don't you guys read the
How
paper?
to influence, control somebody's perception, behavior.
The phrase Manchurian Candidate came from the title of a book in which American POWs in Korea were captured and tortured by Chinese, and one of them was made into this programmed assassin without his knowledge.
Alexis left a Middletown hotel, went to a Navy base hotel, but still heard the voices. He escaped to a third hotel, the Marriott, but the voices continued. Alexis told the officer the three individuals were speaking to him through the floor and using some sort of microwave machine to send vibrations through the ceiling, penetrating his body so he cannot fall asleep. A Newport police sergeant contacted Naval Station Police, which said it would follow up and determine if Alexis was a naval base contractor.
Hundreds of people in the valley say they are hearing voices in their heads. And those voices are being transmitted by microwave or other methods.
Well, several viewers asked us to investigate what they call electronic harassment. KMIR 6's Angela Monroe joins us now with what she's discovered. Angela.
Electronic harassment, synthetic telepathy, voice-to-skull technology. Chances are you haven't heard of these terms, but after searching the internet, I found dozens of websites dedicated to the phenomenon and several Valley residents who say they're victims. According to the websites, what Bond is describing is called gang stalking. He moved to Palm Springs to escape.
I started hearing, as you'll hear, hearing voices and what they'll call voice-to-skull or microwave hearing.
Bob Stansfield says his experience was similar and started a decade ago.
They were active in following me around here, and I started hearing the voices a little bit after the vehicular stalking.
Voices.
Yeah, no problem.
Voices.
Voices and demons?
Where's the voices? What the fuck? Where the fuck am I? Holy shit. What happened?
Shut up.
Just be quiet, man.
Shut up.
The attack came without warning, as seen on this airport surveillance video obtained by TMZ. 26-year-old Esteban Santiago pulls out his pistol and opens fire. Passengers run for cover as Santiago moves out of camera range through the baggage claim section, where police say he emptied his 9mm semi-automatic handgun and then reloaded once, killing 5 people and injuring 6 more. Tonight, the question is why a man who told the FBI he was hearing voices about ISIS, thought the government had put a chip in his head, was able to keep his gun even after being hospitalized for a mental examination.
The gun was taken away from him, but is given back after he was cleared.
A question put to the Broward County Sheriff, Scott Israel.
Do you think he should have had that gun?
Well, no.
Outside the Alvarez family home, the crime scene tape has disappeared, along with any sign of the 7-year-old boy or his father. Their neighbors remain in a state of disbelief.
Real shocking. I mean, I still can't get over it. I still can't get over it.
Now that Mayisa Alvarez has gone before a judge, her arrest report is public and sheds new light on her state of mind. The affidavit says Alvarez confessed that voices told her to kill her son. Investigators say she took chains and locks from her bedroom dresser, then said she went into the kitchen and selected 2 kitchen knives. After contemplating suicide, police say she returned to his bedside, chained his arms together, and began stabbing him in the chest, shoulder, and arms.
Our heart goes out to that little boy. I couldn't imagine it, wouldn't want to.
According to the arrest report, while Alvarez was in the act of stabbing, the boy woke up and asked, "What are you doing?" That's when she says she stopped, unchained his hands, and called 911.
Calling himself a good person who heard voices in his head, accused killer and confessed serial killer Daniel Drayton, seen here being taken into custody last week in North Hollywood, spoke from the Men's Central Jail in downtown Los Angeles with the New York Daily News, an interview in which he admitted to killing New York nurse Samantha Stewart. "I really liked her," Drayton told the Daily News. "I didn't want to kill her. They told me she had to die. They would be voices in his head that Drayton went into further detail about. I'm a passenger in my own body, he repeated over and over. It's mind control. They use direct energy weapons on me to control my mind.
Law enforcement sources tell ABC News Aaron Alexis abruptly left a Newport, Rhode Island Navy barracks after constantly complaining that noises were coming out of his linen closet. During roughly the same time frame, Newport Naval Station police were warned by local authorities that Alexis was hearing voices and feared he was under constant surveillance by shadowy figures. But Navy Station police did not pass the information up the chain of command.
When I worked with the government, I heard a lot of people coming in saying, I'm hearing voices through my tooth. Now I look back and I think, are they like I am now and I just didn't pay attention?
For them, the voices are a waking nightmare.
On an all-new Dr. Phil.
You started hearing voices in your head.
Has he lost contact with reality?
You think you've had a chip implanted in your body, and that communicates with the satellite.
Is he a danger?
They put a gun in my face.
I don't recall that.
To his family?
The voices have just taken over his life.
I've heard your voice more than I've heard anybody's.
That's all in your brain.
If you said you wanted to cut his fingers off?
All new Dr. Phil.
Well, Wendy, just as Nicole Natchman was being driven into the Sally Port here at the Orient Road Jail that you see behind me, we got our hands on her very explosive arrest report.
Nicole, what happened? You say?
21-year-old Nicole Natchman is not talking about the murders of her mother, Marion Denis, or her stepfather, Robert Denis, both gunned down last Thursday night. But this arrest affidavit speaking volumes tonight. According to deputies, the FSU student began hearing voices on campus telling her to kill her parents. And after she saw a poster telling her her dreams were about to come true, investigators say she put her plan into action, driving to her mother's Carrollwood home, her stepfather the only one there. The affidavit claiming she found a gun in the home and killed him first. Her mother, away on a U.S. Navy reservist retreat, was not there. The 21-year-old was lying in wait, though. When Miriam returned home, deputies say she confronted her daughter and then ran from the house, her daughter gunning her down in the neighbor's driveway. Natchman told police she passed out following the shooting, and when she regained consciousness, she took off back to FSU.
What are the new developments, Bob?
Well, Klein Thaxton stood just a few feet away from his victim. His lawyer says he never intended to hurt that victim, and we heard a bizarre new explanation for why he started this crisis. 22-year-old Klein Thaxton believed he was hearing three voices inside his head the day he walked into this downtown office tower. One of them he calls the Crow.
The Crow, he said, talk to him.
Thaxton's lawyer revealed that new detail to us this morning after a preliminary hearing in the case.
Voices were telling him to cause some damage, cause some harm to someone.
Documents were published online by the Black Vault, which describes itself as the largest online Freedom of Information Act document clearinghouse in the world. They reveal that mind control techniques using drugs were also used on prison inmates at the time, with agents using experimental drugs on prisoners who had been hospitalized. The drugs were administered forcefully and without consent from the subjects, with the goal to reduce inhibition to revealing self-incriminating information during interrogations while the inmates were awaiting trial. The documents also detailed the CIA's interrogation practices. Forms of physical, psychological, and mechanical torture included everything from threats to drugs that cause pain to truth serums that were forcibly used on subjects. Now, the CIA also sought out hypnotic speaking techniques to control large audiences. And the hundreds of documents give insight into the agency's attempts to control the minds of both humans and dogs. Now, while it isn't clear if the CIA is still using the same mind control techniques today, these documents do give insight into a world that was hidden from the public for more than 60 years.
The shooter has been identified as 31-year-old Myron May, a 2005 FSU graduate who until last month was employed by the district attorney's office in Las Cruces, New Mexico. May's fraternity brother described him as a well-respected member of the community.
Wouldn't really do anything to harm anyone. If you needed him, he'd be there. He'd give you a shirt off his back. if he had to.
But in the months leading up to the shooting, several troubling incidents occurred. New Mexico police reports obtained by CBS News show that in October, May's former girlfriend complained he was harassing her. She said he had developed a severe mental disorder, and he believes that the police are after him. In September, Myron May reported to police himself that he was being watched and observed and could hear voices coming through the walls. Law enforcement sources also confirmed that May sent 10 packages through the mail to friends throughout the country. All have been told to call authorities when the packages arrive.
Where he expressed fears of being targeted and that he wanted to bring attention to this issue of targeting.
May resigned from his position as an associate trial attorney in New Mexico last month. He moved back to Florida about 3 weeks ago, friends say, to begin a new life. Gail?
All right, Anna, thank you.
It's with a heavy heart that I am in front of you now to make this video. Kind of my last words. It's really unfortunate that I have to make this video. You see, I am a victim of covert harassment and electronic harassment and gang stalking. I'm what's called a targeted individual. There are thousands of targeted individuals in the United States of America, and we unfortunately are subjected to some pretty heinous treatment, which I'll detail in this video. You can find out more about what a targeted individual is simply by Googling or YouTubing the words targeted individual or gang stalking, and you'll see the videos and postings and articles and stuff like that about what a targeted individual is. And on YouTube, you'll actually hear the stories of other targeted individuals, of videos that they posted about what their experiences are. They won't be that different from what you hear from me today. I think mine might be a little bit more comprehensive in explaining exactly what a targeted individual is and what a targeted individual experiences on a day-to-day basis. So I'll just go straight to it. Talking about gang stalking in general, which is what a targeted individual experiences. The goal of gang stalking is literally to drive a targeted individual crazy. It's a very comprehensive program, and sadly it's a government program. Its roots are in programs known as MK Ultra and COINTELPRO, which should have been eliminated, but unfortunately they are still around. They're not only still around, but they're actually far more comprehensive and more detailed than they were even when those programs were popular. But like I said, the goal is literally to isolate the person, make them destitute and financially unstable to the point where they can't take care of themselves. Many targeted individuals live in homeless shelters and on the street. And they employ various tactics to accomplish their goal of destroying targeted individuals. The most common experience that you'll hear is, and why the term gang stalking comes about, is because they'll have people follow you around. Whenever you go into public places, like if you're driving on the street, people in cars will follow you around, and they make themselves very known that they're there and they are present and they are looking at you. If you go any public place, like going shopping or anything like that, they'll follow you around the stores. And as sick as this may sound, I've even had stalkers follow me into church while I was in Las Cruces and in Houston. I've had stalkers follow me into church to harass me.